All righty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another weekly update. Hope everybody's having a lovely weekend. And with that being said, let's get into some TA. All right, guys, we're going to kick it off here with SPY's weekly time frame. We're going to go over the indices. We're going to go over the big boys. We're going to go over the semis. We're going to go over Bitcoin. And then we got 10 plus trade ideas for you guys to take a look at going into next week. All right, let's kick it off with SPY's weekly time frame. I am just going to point out the obvious thing on this chart. Big volume, big candlestick, baby. That's what we got rocking and rolling over here on this chart. And I'm just going to say, this is not something that typically leads to further downside. It's typically something that is followed by further upside. So that is definitely what I'm going to be looking for. All right, you had a big, fat, nasty 4% gap down on the week. What happened? You closed the week up 0.02%. What do you want me to say? The thing is not bearish, all right? You didn't even have a down week this week, even though you fell a whopping 4.25%. You still did not have a down week. That is impressive, all right? That is strength. That is, Bears had their chance. Bears did not, they didn't take advantage of that chance. You had a chance to bring it all the way down here. You just had to get it right past here. You didn't have that become the case, all right? You had buyers stepping in right at support, right at the 0.786 fib, and they carried you all the way back up. Now we are underneath this weekly 9. I do think you're probably going to get some consolidation around here. I don't think you're just going to bust up over it again. It can happen, all right? It can. I just don't think it's happening. And typically when I see this, all right, you're going to find, a little trouble. You're going to have some bumps in the road over there at your weekly 9. It's the same exact thing on the daily 9, okay? So that was the weekly time frame. I'm just going to point out here, we closed right here at the daily 9. This is something that, price will dance around. So we got to be expecting there's going to be a battle going on here, okay? And you know what? I don't know who's going to win the battle in the short term, but I can definitely tell you, we are biased to the long side. You have a low, you have a high, you have a higher low, and then you close green on the week. You're probably coming up here to at least test right there in that golden pocket. That is what this suggests to me, and I'm just going to say, guys, this is a massive candlestick. What if we get another, we're probably going to get a move that is equivalent to what we just saw. It's probably not going to happen in a week because that's extremely, irrational behavior there, okay? We probably are going to come back up to the highs with how this thing closed. I'm just going to say it, all right? Yes, Permabull Henry, that is me. I will accept the name. It's okay. But, I'll also tell you guys, I call price action on both sides, so it's also not just permeable stuff. Guess what? We're going to have a battle here, and we're going to probably get over that hump. And then once we get over that hump, we're going to get up here, okay? So let's go over the levels that we're paying attention to, but just to make it extremely clear, right here, take off your magnet there, 542.52. That is going to be the target of the week here, getting up here. I don't know if you go straight up there. I don't know if you pull back here. Maybe you pull back to 528.60 and then you go off to the races. No idea. But that is clear as day. The level that stands out to me. Why? All right. Let's just make it real crystal clear for you guys. You got a left shoulder. You got a head. You have a right shoulder. You have a neckline. All right. Let's make that nice and straight for us. A neckline. Okay. You had a bunch of buyers holding the line over here. You had them, they're up. They're up. Boom. It got taken away from them all at once, which does suggest that a lot of them did not get to exit those positions, or they did exit the positions and, they were influencing these, the selling pressure. Okay. But, the psychology of this is you have a lot of people holding the line over here. Okay. They then turn into bag holders. Okay. And now when price returns there, as long as we're not talking about options, which we're not talking about options because, we're talking about price, what's actually going to move this. Obviously, we could see gamma squeezes. We could see the option chain move the actual price over here because, dealers and stuff like that. But in reality, what is actually being bought? It's shares. Okay. So anybody could have just held on to their bags right here this whole time. They could have just held on and you come back up here, you're break even, baby. Okay. That was just totally an accident, I swear. Totally an accident. But you break even, baby. You come back in. Let me get the freak out of here, okay? I was just down so bad. Let me get out of here. That's what's probably going to happen if you retest that 542.52 level. So, guys, you better freaking prepare for sellers to step in at that level. Right above there, you have the 0.618 fib at 544. All right, so let's just go over the levels real quick. And actually, before we start that, I am just going to point out what just happened on Friday. All right, what just happened is you had this low, and you had this low, and then you had this neckline. You broke above that and actually retested it, and it's looking quite sexy. All right, you broke above it. You had a double bottom. It was an ugly double bottom. Adam and Eve double bottom. You go search it up on the patternsite.com. That is, you know, let's look at it this way. This is price. Da. That's low. Da, 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 da. Okay, you come back down. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. All right, this is what, you know, people normally just look at as your double bottom. You break above it. There you go. Well, now you have this. Still double bottom. All right. And then you also have this. Still double bottom. Why? You still have those two lows. You had that consolidation. You're breaking out of that consolidation. Psychology is the same exact thing between these moves and that move right there. Same exact thing. This right here, I'm not going to say I know which one is which at this point. One of these is an Adam and Eve. One of these is an Eve and Adam. That is that. I don't remember which one at this point. It was a long time ago. I was on the patternsite.com. That is where, honestly, I really started. The patternsite.com. So you know what? If you want a nice little resource there, www.thepatternsite.com. It is nice. It's Thomas Bolkowski's website. Regardless, that is what we're looking at right here. You just got that breakout here from this low up to this high here. $13. You probably are going to see a measured move. You already got the retest, break and retest. This is so sexy to me. All right. I'm not saying you don't get a gap down because of what we've been seeing today, and not today, recently. Okay. With all this craziness that's been going on. Okay. But, you know, if you just take away the craziness and we're just going to look strictly at price action here, this thing is going up here. This thing is going to have that $13 move that we just showed. And that brings you right up here to this 0.618 fib at 544. All right. So I want to get that out of the way before we go over the levels here. Now, level to level, let's go over them. Okay, guys. Resistance above 534.51, which was Friday's high. You have nothing until 537.45, which definitely is a level that looks like it is going to be tested. And now, picture perfect, guys. We get a move like that. We come back down here, test that 9 DMA right there, and then we go off to the races from there. Okay, we will have to see what happens here at 547.91. All right, but that would be picture perfect for me. Yeah, guys, above 534.51, 537.45, above there 542.52, and 547.91. If things get really freaking spicy this week, I'm not saying they are, but they could. We got fuel on the table for some spiciness. That's that. Okay, do you guys like spice? Let me know. On the downside, after we fix our screen here, on the downside, what are we paying attention to, guys? We got 531.59 to support. We have 528.60 under there, and then 524.61 if things really go wild. But I don't think without this weekly candle close that things are going to get that wild. But, you know, honestly, guys, I could see a hammer like this week could straight up turn into just straight up consolidation. We could get the wick down here. And then boom, take it back up, close around here. You have a solid look going into the next week. And it would make perfect sense. It would be like one of these guys. And then you print that thing. It would actually be exactly like this. So that's, you know, kind of the picture I just drew for us, okay? Where we'd get a big bar. Let's freaking have, that's not as big as a bar we just had, guys. We had like a freaking 30-point move. It was 22-point move. I was thinking 30% moves. We see a few of these 30%ers. All right, you got that guy. You got that guy, okay? What do you got next? What do you got next, huh? We got Upstart with the freaking 50% move up on the day, all right? But guys, talk about an 85% rip. Insanity, all right? Insanity is what we just saw this week, all right? We have excitement ahead, guys. We just had the volatility, okay? We had VIX doing this. What happens next? This thing comes down here. We definitely still have volatility present in this market. All right, I like that. Okay, but what definitely comes next after this look right here is either you're gonna get this actance demand like we were talking about. Okay, you're coming into it on this day right here. Well, now you're coming right back into it. We're gonna see 1936 to 2136 actance demand, or it's gonna fade underneath 1936. You're gonna get right under here. I'm gonna set an alert down here. We're gonna set it right there. All right, and if that alert gets hit, This thing is probably just going to go right through this range to the bottom of it and come all the way down to 16 schmeckles. 16 flipping schmeckles, guys. What happens if it's at 16 schmeckles? SPY, golden pocket, QQQ, golden pocket, except probably this one up here. It's probably going to be at 473.82 because that is clear as day the key level here that we got to pay attention to. All right, but first things first, we got to take what we just got. We got to take it one step at a time over here, guys. One step at a time. All right, guys. So now that we've transitioned over here to QQQ, let's start off with the weekly time frame. Same look as SPY. Heavy volume, heavy candlestick. Probably going higher from here. All right. Can we get a pullback? Of course we can. Expect freaking sellers right here. Okay. You got the 9 DMA right here. We're going to be dancing around this bad boy with all likelihood. And it could either go like that or it could go like that. Rejection right here. And then boom, bust up above it. All right. But, you know, regardless, you're probably going to dance around this. And if I had to take a guess, you know, it's going to be one of the things that just showed you. You either get the pullback and then the rip into this area right here, or you get the rip into this area and then you pull back and test the 9 DMA and then you move higher from there. That's, you know, kind of what I'm seeing here. Okay. On the daily time frame, guys, we closed right here on the 9 DMA. All right. RSI is starting to hinge. Same volume pattern we had in SPY that we just pointed out. Okay, actually, did I point out? I don't know if I did. You have decreasing volume here as you test this daily 9. Over here, low conviction from the buyers, low conviction from the buyers over here. Let's bring it back down to get our arrow there. Okay, guys, so decreasing volume, increasing price. That means one of them is lying. It is typically always going to be the candlesticks lying just because let's just look at it this way. Volume is the buyers and sellers, okay? It's just the market participants behind these candlesticks. Well, price move higher, volume move lower, less market participants as you get to higher price, which means less people are willing to bid that crap up. All right, which means low conviction, which means you could get a rug pull. That's typically the setup we see right before a rug pull. I'm not saying we get a big fat red bar. I'm not at all saying that because what the heck do we have over here? But I'm definitely going to just point out what I'm seeing here, which is that decreasing volume as you come right into the 9 DMA. And then right above, you got the 0.618 fib at 455.75 and 455.63, which was our target over here for this little bounce. It was either going to be a dead cat bounce, you're going to stall out around here, or you're going higher. And you step up right here, okay? The 473.82. We're going to have to see how this goes, ladies and gents. Okay, same thing over here on QQ as we had in SPY. Ugly double bottom in this case. All right. Do that. Do that. Come up there. 14 schmeckles. Okay. Same thing. Hit it with the break and retest. 14, guys. Brings you up to 0.786 fib, baby. 464 we're talking. Okay. 463, actually. Okay. 463 over here on QQ. That's where we're paying attention to, guys. On the downside, what are we paying attention to, right? 449 is where you just broke out as the, you know, neckline over here for your ugly double bottom. Underneath there, we got 442.15. You really don't have anything, you know, in between there. But if I had to pick out a level here, we're going to go with 445.34 is the low from this candlestick right here. I am not saying you get down there, but I am definitely going to say, all right, decreasing volume. We want to see buyers stepping up, and I don't like to see it in this way. I'm just saying, all right? I know we got a bullish weekly candlestick there with heavy volume, but the heavy volume came from right here. This is, let's just look at the numbers here, okay? This volume is 87 million. This volume is 33 million. There is over double the volume in this one daily candlestick, okay? So you very clearly see, as we come here into where, you know, you want to see buyers just, you know, go right through it. Now you have the lowest conviction, not the best look. All right. So I'll just point out what I'm seeing on the charts, guys. I'm just pointing it out. All right. Don't shoot the messenger. Just me. Just your friendly old neighborhood Henry over here. All right, guys. Above 449, we have 453.57. Above there, we have 455.63, which that is, as it just stated, that was the target for this little bounce over here. Okay, guys. That's what I'm paying attention to. I expect sellers around 455.63. As I just pointed out, we can get all the way up here to 463 with that measured move over there for that ugly double bottom. So that is that. On the downside, 445.34, 442.15. I don't think we get back down there but 433.76, okay? Because if you're going to take the golden pocket from that move, it aligns perfectly 433.76. I don't think things get that crazy, but I am definitely going to point out it's a possibility, and that's that. IWM, weekly candlestick, bullish. Okay, daily chart, honestly, arguably bullish. Okay, you're not at the 9 yet. Okay, you expect sellers here between 209.77, 212.25. This should have been demand. It was not demand. You sold right through it. You retested it here intraday and you sold down. Okay, that does tell us that there are going to be sellers there, not buyers. We should be expecting sellers. That is also going to line here with the daily 9. But I am going to say right here, it looks like some bullish consolidation before a little pump. Okay, so I do think we get that little 1.5 to 2% pump up into this daily 9 here, into 209.77 to 212.25. Okay, guys, now if we're going to come down to the hourly time frame, same exact thing over here on IWM. Okay, you got that guy, you got that guy, you got neckline. Okay, so neckline is going to be 207.96. All right. Resistance, 207.11 above there, 207.96 above there. We're testing 209.77, baby. And that's that. You clearly see sellers there. Expect sellers there. If you are holding longs from here to here, do yourself a favor. No financial advice will be given on this channel, but scale out as you come into your supply. That's that. And unless you're, perma bull over here on IWM and, you just think it's going to go straight up, and that's that. But, with all likelihood, you're going to go like that. You're going to pull back, and then you get another opportunity, and then you go further. That's what I see. Okay? That is that. That is that on IWM. There we go. DIA. What do we got? What do we got over here, guys? Bullish. Wide body green bar. Heavy volume to support that. Bounce near the 0.786 fib. Guys, that's sexy. All right. That is sexy. Come down to the daily time frame. What do we have? You're getting rejection at 493.56. 2 days in a row right there. You got over here. You broke and retest. Now you're just dancing in between here and the 9. Above the 9, we have 398.08. Above there, 401. On the downside, you watch that 0.618 fib is support, 390.50, and then 389 underneath there. And that is that. msft, we already talked about it. I shared my thoughts. What the heck is this thing? We talked about it intra-week. If you get the codes like this thing's going to get crushed, and we're going to see probably the indices go back to all-time highs. It's probably just marked out a major high for VIX, and then we get weeks of selling, which means this. Boom, boom, boom. I'll just mark it out for us with that, which means this. Go down, you go up, you go down, you go up, you go down, up, down, and then eventually you get your spike. But in the end, it's going to be a way down the line. I'm not saying it happens like, half a year down the line, but I am going to say we probably get this thing continuing lower for a while here. That's what this candlestick tells me, okay? No point during this freaking COVID crash. Okay, COVID crash was over here. Was this it? No, this was it over here. At no point did you put in the candlestick we just saw and you reversed 70%, 70% off of the highs. Okay, you did that when you're all the way down here. No, all right, just no, guys. It's not a bear market. I was seeing too many people saying we're entering a bear market. Guys, let's be completely real. Bear market is 20% down on the NASDAQ, and we're at all-time highs. What do you want me to say? Okay? We have this sitting right here. Your price sitting right here. Come a little lower. I dare you. You're going to get a motherload of buyers stepping in. Okay? Anywhere from where I just marked out, this high, to this high. You're going to get so many buyers stepping in. It's going to be insane. Okay? Anyone who missed out on this rally was watching from the sidelines, and they're ready to pounce right here. There's no reason we're going to come in there and you're not going to get a bunch of buy orders in right there. That's just how that would go. Okay? So yeah, BIX, crush. Let's get that rally going. That's what I'm seeing. SMH, weekly candle. Everything looks the same here. So I'm just going to skip these weekly charts, just to make this video go by a little bit quicker, because it is getting decently late over here on Saturday nights. And I have to be up early tomorrow, and maybe you have to be up early tomorrow, and yeah, let's get it. Okay, guys, came down here to support. You started bouncing back. Okay, you got this downtrend. That's going to be your key. Break the downtrend. You probably shoot up to 250.85 to 255.92. That's what I'm paying attention to over on the semis. You're right underneath that 9, right underneath 230.05 resistance. Get above there. You have a good time to 239.14, then 250.85. SMCI. This is sexy. I really like how this thing is shaping up. Okay, I'm not going to call this weekly candlestick all nice. It's not. Okay, it's definitely not. Not something that suggests, you know, upside is coming right now. But I will definitely say right here, okay, you definitely have something loading over here considering the daily RSI is all the way down there. And you're consolidating here. I'm guessing this thing is about to get a little push up here. We have to expect sellers at 529.50. But if you can get above there, guys, we have 547 and 582.46. This is a spot right here that I really think is going to be tested. And then when this thing really turns around and gets out of this golden pocket, we're going to test 671. That's that. NVIDIA, what do you got going on Mr. NVIDIA? All right. Again, right underneath the daily 9. All right. These are things that we see, you know, usually either before another shove down or you're about to consolidate here and then shove it up. I'm guessing you better shove it up. Okay. Shove it up the butt, baby. That's how we do it. No, we don't. No, we don't. All right. Maybe. But, you know, right over here, guys, daily 9. Right here at resistance, 108.72. You got that, the 0.618 fib. You know, you get above here, you have resistance in right here. So, you know, you got some work done. You have some work that needs to be done here on this chart for it to really start turning around. Just my opinion, okay? But yeah, if you get on over this hump right here at 106.30, at the daily 9, you come up here, 0.618 fib and 108.72 resistance. What are you thinking? All right. You're probably going to get sellers continue to step up right in between here and here. Just my thoughts. Okay. Avgo. Sexy. Sexy, sexy, sexy chip name. I really like how this thing is queuing up. All right. I know you got the big weekly wide body bar there. I understand. Okay. But what I really liked here was on the hourly time frame. Okay. Came down. Let me just take that off. We know you held the golden pocket. All right, came down, held the 0.618 fib, then boom, bounced out, broke, and retested that downtrend. And now you're pushing up to your next resistance at 149.15. Above 149.15, 156.40 is the next level that we are going to be paying attention to. It's a very clear spot for sellers to step in here. So if you see price move up here, you dang right better be expecting sellers there. That's that. AMD, not looking too bad. Same thing underneath the 9. And that is really all I got to say over here on AMD. Okay, MU, what do we got? Ugly looking thing. Could be bear flagging. All right, we're going to have to see. I mean, if everything else is bouncing back, this is very likely going to bounce back. But I definitely will say, all right, this has been the weakest chip name so far. And you really just got to get above that 9. All right, I don't even want to talk about this thing until you start. You know, this is the little dance I was talking about earlier in the video where you start testing it. You don't get over it immediately. You dance around it, and then you go. We very well could see that happen across the board here. So we got to be prepared for that week of consolidation here. All right. And we have a big monthly OPEX, guys. 8/16 expiration. That is the thing we're coming right into. Okay. This Friday, we're going to have a lot of options being repositioned. That is going to make, you know, a lot of volatility. And that is that. ARM, guys, this thing's looking pretty sexy above 118.50. We got 125.98. TSM, okay, arguably the strongest chip name we got going right now. Okay, weekly candle was holy Jesus, that's crazy looking, 24%. Give us that. Actually, NVIDIA did kind of get that. Almost, okay, almost. I'm bugging. All right, guys, but Jesus, look at that. Look, guys, pardon my French, man. Wow, insanity. All right. Pushing right up here to 167.12 resistance. Above there, you have 171.54, then 176.82. That is that. All right. And then above there, 182.75. This is definitely a clear spot for sellers to be. But at that point, I think you're getting over the 0.786 fib. Yeah. And at that point, you're going to have a full-on reversal. So you reach 182.75. You're coming up here to 192.80. That's that. QCOM, sexy breakout. I like what I'm seeing over here. That's that. I'll leave it at that. You have 1 day of breakout. You're underneath the 9. Get above the 9. Straight shot up to 177.59. That's the call. Okay. Those are the chips for you, ladies and gents. What do we got next? We got the big boys. All right. The big boys. Decreasing volume. Pushing up into just where you broke down from. Okay. We're going to take this off. Got to break up from that. You're above the 9. That's good. But what happens? This is where you broke down from. This is the same concept I was talking about earlier where, boom, you have a bunch of buyers holding the line. And then, boom, what happens? You slip underneath bag holders. Okay, yes, they can hold. but they're still bag holders. And when price comes back up to that, they're more, inclined to sell than if they had a winning position. So we probably will see a bunch of sell orders sitting around here in between 217.13 and 220.33. All right. That is what I'm watching over here on Apple. Expect sellers up here. That is that. Microsoft, fresh downtrend break. You see, I think it was on the 4-hour. Yeah, the 4-hour over here. All right. Fresh downtrend break above 413. Okay. Come back over the daily time frame. It's going to be a big spot over here at 413. Above there. Okay. Above there. I'm just going to say, if you test this, you probably do flip that daily 9. You're probably, not revisiting back down here. You're probably going to hold somewhere around here if you pull back. All right. Above there, we have 417.27. But really, guys, if you could reclaim 413, you probably do just start trekking up here to 430. That's that. Microsoft for you. Amazon. Bearish close on Friday. Decreasing volume on the run up to this daily 9. And your resistance. Get above 168.77. 173.87 is that level. That is, it's not so key, but it's what's in between you and the really big spot. 181.22. This is the absolute key level that we have on a bunch of these charts where buyers were really holding the line at support, and then boom, all at once capitulated. And now you have a bunch of bag holders, all right? So expect sellers when you start revisiting 181.22. But honestly, guys, 168.77 above there. We have 173.87. That is a likely move that happens, okay? On the downside, we have 166.32 support, low of that candlestick. Underneath there, we really don't have anything until 161.43 on this daily time frame. So I'm not even going to mark anything, okay? That's what I got on Amazon. Meta, guys, we talked about the 510 level. We said this was, the prime candidate. Top watch for 0DT Friday, okay? Congrats if anybody did end up taking those. I am just going to say this just broke out here. This is going to retest for 527.17, and then it's going to push up to the new all-time high above 542.81. That's my call, okay? This thing is mighty fine, baby. Mighty fine. You are not going to put in this candlestick and fade it. I don't care what you say. I don't care. I don't care. You have a bullish engulfing wide-bodied green bar pushed up above the 0.786 fib. Guys, is pushing it back up to the highs. There's no arguing with it. There's no arguing with it. You're like 3%. No, you're 5% away from the highs. Okay? You're going to push back up there. That's what I'm paying attention to. The levels that we are paying attention to are going to be 523.86, 527.17, above there 531.49. But just know, guys, you break above 527.17, you're coming up here. All right, that's the move you look for from there. 542.81. If you're, you're an intraday trader, okay? We gonna be watching that thing for the pullbacks, and we gonna be bullish on those pullbacks, all right? Picture perfect. You get above here, you pull back into this area, and you buy that, okay? And you get to ride that, and that's that. Or, in this case, you don't get up there yet, and you pull back into this level right here at 510, and you buy that, all right? We clearly saw sellers were there, okay? You got above it, okay? Boom. That's that. Goog, what do we got going on? Bullish engulfing candlestick. Low volume. Okay? I don't like the look of it. I really don't like the look that we have across the board with this low volume. But coming into the daily 9, got to get above there. It happens to align with the 165.87 level where you broke down from. We already know sellers are there. Okay? So expect sellers there. But if you can, get above it. All right? Probably happens in a squeeze-like manner up to 170.97. And that is that. Key level that we broke down from 182.73, right? So on the upside, 179.7, 178.21, low of that candlestick, and then 182.73. Tessie, this is arguably the sexy, big boy that I could, except for Meta. All right, Meta's pretty beautiful over there. I just pointed out, pretty freaking darn stinking beautiful. Tessie hit it with the break and retest over here, out of this little pennant thing you got going on here, downtrend, whatever you want to look at this as. Okay, you got it. Okay, inverse head and shoulders, whatever you want to look at it. Bullish consolidation. This is kind of as bullish as it gets. Pull back to the 9, not the 9. You pull back to the 0.618 fib, then broke out, then then you rejected resistance. You retested that trend line. Now it does look like you're starting to push back up, guys. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow these arrows, guys. 270 above there, 205.60 above there. Things get really nutty. We go to 214.71. All right, that's going to be a key spot right there. 233.09 is also a key spot. At support on Tessie, what do we got? 195.11. All right. Now, Bitcoin, how we looking over here, guys? How we looking? Weekly candlestick, extremely bullish. We probably just saw a bottom, and we're probably going to start pushing towards the highs. Those are my thoughts over here on Bitcoin. 63794, resistance. 59313, support. Coin, sexy. That's my thoughts. Just my opinion there. Sexy little beast you got going on over here. All right. You broke out. You just retested, your golden pocket. Well, you didn't retest. You tested. You retested the breakout level. Guys, this thing is probably going up from here. That is that. You saw a massive move down over here on coin. Daily RSI was near an oversold territory. That doesn't typically happen a lot, and it typically will mark bottoms. We're clearly in a weekly uptrend. We will continue to look for upside on these miners. Well, I mean, I know this isn't a miner. It's a Bitcoin stonk. Speaking of miners, here's your next miner. CLSK. How are we looking over here? Not too good. Probably pull back, okay? 1135 is support. I'm just saying, though, I think this 1391 level will be retested in the short term. Mara, good luck on the week, okay? Good luck on the week. You came back right to where you broke down from, though, which sucks, okay? Get above 1760. You have another spot you broke down from, which is 1837, okay? You expect sellers there. What's the next one, guys? Mester, okay? Mester. By that, I mean MicroStrategy. All right, guys. So, what are we looking and cooking over here? You got that bad boy right there. You got that bad boy right there. What else we got on this chart that we could really point out here? Nothing really. We're going to take away that level. Give it that right there. Okay, no, we're not. No, we're not. We're doing this. We're sticking with a clean chart here. They just had their split. You came down to support. You had a big old squeeze there right there, 30%. Again, with these 30% days, insanity, okay? Resistance going to be 142.16. Above there, 150.77. All right, let's just take our golden pocket here. See where that's at. It starts right above 150.77. That's going to be a key level. That is where we look for sellers to step in. Next spot that we look for sellers to step in, 159.25. I do think these two levels right here will be tested. That is 12%, 12.5, and 19%. There you go. Okay. Have a blast. Have some fun. Have so much fun, guys. So much fun. All right. Now let's talk about it. Target. I like what we're seeing over here. You got a base going on here. You got a little range. Break up from the range above 136.35. Straight shot up to 140. 139.98. That's what I'm looking for. In the end, you're probably going to retest up here at 145. All right, guys. You clearly see this is where you broke down from, though. That is going to have some sellers. So, the trade idea here, it's for the short term. That's where you're going to make your money over here. Okay. In the end, target, yes, it's probably going to have a whole ass run like that. Pardon my French. Okay. It's probably going to hit it with that. But we also do know it could do stuff like this where it only has a 6% bounce. And from these lows here, 6% is right here at this low. That's, where my thinking is here on why I'm targeting 139.98. And I wouldn't be surprised if it sells off from there. That's just that. SoFi, weekly candlestick. Okay. Right off of. Okay. Yeah, we'll leave it. Okay. Touch point, touch point, touch point, touch point, touch point, touch point. Not a touch point, but right there. And now you have another one. Okay. You pulled all the way back there. Pull back to your demand zone down here. We clearly could see demand. Okay. You found buyers stepping in here. And now I am going to say you got to get back above the 9. Got to reclaim 667 to get to $7. All right. Not going to say it's sexy looking, but I am going to point it out as it is here. Diz. Again, not going to say it's sexy looking. I will point it out as it's here. Weekly RSI is oversold. This weekly candlestick looks so god-awful ugly. That's that. Daily chart, you just had earnings. You're seeing buyers start to step in. Looking for a retest of 88.69. Pan W. All right. No specific trade idea here. I am just going to point out you had this downtrend and you retest that downtrend this week on this massive green bar. This thing looks like it wants to run back up to the highs. That's all I'm going to say about this. All right. Go find the setups, the short-term setups you want to play on this bad boy for yourself. What I could see right now, clear as day, is you pull back to 324.68. You probably do get buyers stepping in, considering the battle you've had going on over here. All right. So, you know, the short-term trade idea I see on this one is you pull back here, you play it up to the next level. Okay. That's that. But, you know, all in all, this thing probably is going to be having the momentum to the upside, and you're probably going to be pushing up to these highs over the coming weeks with how this thing just closed. And honestly, guys, this is the fuel for the rally I speak of. These charts that look like this are the fuel for the rally that I speak of. If we see these components going up to highs, we are going to see QQQ inspired highs. That is that. Right over here. I already shared my thoughts. You're right at support. I like how this thing's looking. PayPal. All right. Guess what? Weekly chart. Just you're probably going to get further upside. Okay. But I'm going to point out in the daily time frame right here, you're at the 0.786 fib. So we're talking about a pullback, baby. All right. We're talking going from here down to here. That's a 5-something% move. 61.73. You watch it. Okay. And if it gets tested, you buy it. Again, no financial advice, but I am just, you know, speaking my mind on these charts here. Okay. You get the declining volume going on here on this whole run. Right here, 0.786 fib, you stall out. That's funny. That's a little fishy. You'll probably get a pullback, all right? Right over here, $3 to $4 pullback. From there, you look for further upside to the top of the range. That's that. CLH, falling wedge. That's all I'm going to say on this one. This thing's a piece of poop. 1997 RSI. I don't, you know, obviously no financial advice, but I wouldn't advise anybody touch this thing, considering it has not shown any strength. Got to see it break out over here. I'm just going to set an alert because by then we'll know it's freaking hiccups, man. It is reversing. I can't record a video without getting hiccups, guys. It just never has ever happened. It doesn't happen. Weekly time frame, massive candle from demand straight into supply. 40% move. Now, what are we looking at from here? 33.50. That's what we're looking at from here. I do think it is going to be tested, and it probably does get tested in the short term. Above 29.29. You have nothing it took coming up here. You do have, you know, this gap going on right here at 31.34 that you could be paying attention to. That's that. Tessie, I already shared my thoughts over there. We're going to skip over that chart. TLT, I'm just going to point out, break and retest. All right. We point this one out, guys. Where do we point out? From the freaking bottom. All right. That's that. Everything was coming together. You had the golden pockets in right there. You had the break and retest from this, you know, what was it? Half a year downtrend? Yeah, half a freaking year. Okay. Break and retest, golden pocket test, 4-hour RSI oversold test. Boom, boom, boom. Those are my boxes. Check. Check, please. There we go. And then what happened? You went off the races. Now, I am going to point out, guys, as rates gets cut, okay, I know they haven't started getting cut, but do you see how this thing is starting to uptrend? The talks are out. They're on the town, okay? Talk of the town is these rate cuts, eh? Well, guess what? This thing's probably going to be moving up as those things happen. Not probably, it will. And that is that. Okay? This thing is probably going higher from here. Pullbacks are going to be buying opportunities. We know in September, rate cut is extremely likely. September is next month. Okay? It is only the 10th right now. September, FOMC, likely get a rate cut. This thing likely moves. You're sitting right here at the man. You pull back. Here's where you're watching on the pullback. You already bounced off your 0.618 fib, right? You're just expecting buyers to step in over here in the golden pocket. 93 to 94 at 70. Goog, I already pointed this one out. I already did. We're gonna go up past these guys. Fresh downtrend break. I really like that. AMD, we're also gonna pass that right there. Netflix, okay. I really like this setup. I wish I didn't sell, but I am going to say right here, I think this thing is still, it's got some juice left in the tank, guys, above 639. The next key, like really key spot I can see here is where you broke down from at 66450. That is a big move. All right. Hopefully you don't just bust up and have it all at once here. And maybe you get some consolidation right around here for something to go off of. And then you get that. But honestly, guys, without this looking, you probably do get that straight move. So that's at above 639, 66450. Nike. I'll put it on your radar, and you can see my trade plan right here. We're just waiting. I got alerts set for both. We're seeing which way it breaks. I'm not going to play it to the downside. We'll play it to the upside. Daily bullish divergence. Weekly RSI is oversold. Bullish engulfing candlestick, increasing volume on the week. Break above 75.34. Probably get an equivalent range breakout here. Okay. Or an equivalent range move. That was 6%. 6% would be all the way up here. 80 bucks. All right. So I do think this gap resistance will be tested if 75.34 gets broken. Okay. Break above here. Push up here 79.05. Crowd, I mentioned this one going into last week. It is now here. Okay. This is something that's been beaten down into a freaking pulp. But I said there's absolutely no reason buyers are not going to step in right here. Guess what? You're now getting buyers step in right where, you know, they're expected to step in. You get the weekly RSI coming up off of oversold territory. Same spot. You hit a long-term bottom over there. Same time. You hit a long-term bottom over there. Well, I'm not going to call it long-term. This is a weekly chart. You got like 3 or 4 months on you. Okay. But you guys clearly see what I'm, you're picking up what I'm putting down. I know you are. I know you're a smart guy. Okay. You got this high right here. Big breakout. Push to new all-time high. Pull back to 0.618 fib. Weekly RSI oversold, now hinging up. Off of the break and retest level. This thing looks freaking beautiful. There's no denying it. All right. You are stalling out right here at 242 resistance. That was this high over here. Okay. But get above there, guys. Things get spicy. Okay. Above there, 261.81. And then you got this supply zone up here that starts at 273.16. Okay. If you see this thing dip back down here, this is a buying opportunity. Okay. We have the golden pocket here. Right there. This is honestly, I know, you know, some bad stuff happened with crowds. Like, I know, guys. I get it. I get it. But I'm definitely going to, you know, hammer this one home here. This is a setup that I don't care about the news. This thing looks so sexy. It looks so destined to happen. You're running back up here to 276. All right. Around there. 273.16. That is, you know, really what you're watching over there. Okay, it is very clear that from here, you're probably going to bounce back up to here. We have only seen half of that move. You probably have the other half right around the corner. Cost. Big bullish engulfing candlestick on the week. Recovered that uptrend. I love it. What do we got? Pushing into the golden pocket. Expect sellers up here, but with how this looking, you probably do just push straight through it. You get a pullback. Dang right, that's your buying opportunity. You see a test 837.55 this week. That is your buying opportunity. Let's set the freaking alert so we know about it. Someone freaking said they're from New York and said that my accent really sounds like New York. Guys, thank you. I appreciate that. New York accents are cool. And you know, guys, I didn't like grow up in New York. I went to New York a good amount. But you know, I think that's really just the CT accent is what I got. But I also will say that no one I know sounds like this. So actually, I don't know. I don't know where the heck the accent came from. I don't know. It's all over the place. In this video, I probably have used like 15 different accents throughout the video. I don't know. But you know, maybe I am a New York gangster, you know? That's how it is. We're gangsters on the charts. That's how it is. All right, guys. So that's what I got for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed our 46-minute video, our review going into the week. And with that being said, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your time and your focus here and your energy. And with that being said, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Everybody have a lovely rest of your day, and peace.